Hey planner friends, how's it going? Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. My name is Ryan and this is A Man with the Plans, and we are back in my Erin Condren Deluxe Monthly here for 2018-19, right? Got my little cover here, and we are doing a 2019 sinking funds video. Now, I did a sinking funds video back in 2018 in my old planner. I will leave it linked up here. I actually have it right here. I wanted to make sure I base it off of, for those of you that can't remember or haven't seen it, or you're new to my channel, welcome. I am a decorative planner and a budgeter working on baby step 2 currently. And so one of the ways that I make sure that I stick to my budget is by building in sinking funds. So if you notice here, I have a number of things here that I know are gonna take place, right? You're gonna renew your card tabs every year. Christmas always comes. I have to get back to New York for Christmas, all sorts of stuff like that. So that's how I stay on target with a lot of this stuff. And so what a sinking fund really is, put it simply, is you're just almost prepaying for an expense ahead of time. So, example, I know that every year my car tabs are $260 a month here in Minnesota. I know that they're due in the month of July. So instead of having to shell out $260 for my budget in July, what I do is I break that $260 out across the entire year. So every month I transfer over $1 amount to my sinking fund savings account. I use Capital One 360, they're interest bearing. I'll leave a link down below if you're curious. You can go ahead and sign up for those. It's nice because you can like break them all out by sinking fund. I don't do that. I keep mine all lumped together as one pot of money. But that way, when July comes and I go to the DMV, I can just go ahead and swipe my debit card. I can either use a debit card from that savings account or my regular one and just make the transfer. And it's like that expense never happened, right? I have it planned for, I don't have to worry about it. Because that was one of the things that when I first started the Dave Ramsey plan is we'd be moving along and we'd be trucking along and things would be going great. And then all of a sudden I'd be like, oh, my Amazon Prime is due. Or, oh, you know, damn it, I forgot about, you know, oil change or tire rotation or something. Something would trip me up and I would have to kind of go back to square one. And I wanted to be able to build a better way of doing this so that I would feel comfortable about it. And so what I'm gonna do here, I quickly laid some of the groundwork here. This is from the Me and My Big Ideas sticker book right here. If I can find it on Amazon, I will leave a link down below for that as well. They've got some fun budget stuff. I know it's for the Happy Planner, but hey, these little flags fit just about everywhere, and I do love some of the weekly expense stickers and all the other fun little cash icons. Then these two guys are from this book, Paper House Life Organized. I will leave a link to that if I can find it as well. These are fun. They're a little bit more like cardstocky type stickers, but the little pig bank guy is cute, and they also got the cars and some gold stuff, spend wisely. So yeah, overall there's some really fun stuff in here. I like to just spice it up for me, because at least if I'm checking this, I like to have it look nice, right, if I'm gonna write it out on paper. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a little chart here, and we're gonna walk through my sinking funds and how they've changed from 2018, because while I thought that was sufficient, there are some things that I wanna just up the expense on and make sure I have them. And there are some things that I want to change from last year because, you know, I'm a big fan of continuous improvement. So let's dive in. The first thing I'm going to do is just write the fund name, right? So just fund, and I'll go down the list in a minute of what I have, and then I'll leave a space, and then I'm going to put just expense amount. So how much is it actually costing, right? Perfect. Leave another space to write what month does the expense take place. And this could be if you have for car insurance, if you have it quarterly, you can just say, you know, third month of each quarter or whatever it is. And then the last piece here, I don't think I'll really use this very often, but if I have something to note or to write in about when the expense is or who the carrier is or something like that, it's just nice to have. And for me, what I'm gonna do is take this this is an Erin Condren drop-in dashboard that I don't know where it came from, but I can't find my ruler, so we're just kind of gonna do this instead. Perfect. So then we'll go down here, try to make this as straight as possible. Awesome. So, pretty simple. It's not a huge state-of-the-art thing. You could totally do this in an Excel spreadsheet. Actually, that might be almost even easier. But so I'm gonna run down which ones that I have, leaving us some room in between. So the first one, like I mentioned, is my car tabs. That's always a fun one. The next one that I have is my Christmas sinking fund. Christmas does happen every single year. It's in December. It's not an emergency like Dave says. Let me zoom you guys in a little bit more so you can see this a bit better. There we go. The magic of filming. So yeah, Christmas is not an emergency. So you're not touching that emergency fund that you have. Sorry about it if that's how you usually get by. And believe me, I've done that before. I've tapped into that savings account and it just doesn't feel good. The next thing that I have is my travel fund. So for those of you that are new to my channel, I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota. My family lives in New York. So, and actually I have cousins that live in places like Colorado. I have some folks on the West Coast, and I make it a priority to see them every year. Now I know scorched earth budgets don't include travel like this, but I need to be with my family for the holidays. It's important to me, it's a value of my life, and I understand that it's setting me back a little bit in my debt snowball payoffs. I've accepted that fact and I'm good with it. I understand I could cut it and make progress, but you know what? I feel like with relatives, you only have so much time with your grandparents and stuff like that, and I like to make sure that I'm there for that. So I go home for Christmas usually, and sometimes Thanksgiving if I can swing it. But that's why I have that travel fund there, so that I have that money available if I need to come back for a wedding like I did last year, or a family reunion. I make sure to get there because my family is my priority. So the next one I have is for car maintenance. I don't know, let's abbreviate that. You know, oil change, tire rotation, diagnostic stuff, all those things add up, and I do own my car. I'm paying it off right now. I'm hoping to have it done relatively soon. We'll do a budget update video for you coming up. But for me, this is just something that I'm working towards, and so taking care of my car is important to me. The next one on here is medical. So I do have a flexible spending account from work, which I think has $250 in it that I can get reimbursed for copays and all sorts of stuff. It's deducted. I have a little card somewhere that I can use it for, which is great. I also know that I like to have some extra money available if something does happen or there is some sort of copay. I know that this is sitting there. And the last thing I have, which is by no means sufficient for this expense, but it's Go Wild. This will be my first year going wild, because it's a verb, you know, and I wanted to put a little bit of money away to at least offset some of the smaller costs, so like food, and also I can be able to save this money for next year's Go Wild. Go Wild is in May, so whatever else I contribute, I'll be able to use the rest of the year. So that being said, let's go down the expenses. So my car tabs, like I mentioned, $260 a month. I mean, $260 in total, and the month that I renew them is July, so that's cool. Christmas, I save $400. I have 2 siblings and my parents, and so generally I like to do like $50 to $60 a person, plus any other smaller gifts for friends and coworkers and those types of things. And obviously, Christmas is always in December, like Mr. Dave always says, bada bing. The next thing is travel. Depending on how much I can get for flights, they can fluctuate from as low as like, I think I had like a $99 round trip flight on Frontier one time, and they can go all the way up to like $300. So I put $400 in here, and if anything else I don't use it, it's just gonna sit there and I can use it next year. And the nice part about those Capital One 360 accounts is that they are interest bearing. So, you know, at least your money's kind of working for you. I don't think it's a great rate, but. So November, December, depending on when I travel. Car maintenance, I also put $400 here. And this is just as needed. Typically I like to get my car looked at twice a year and tire and oil change stuff every 3,500 miles, I think that's what it is, 3,000, something like that. I don't do a lot of driving, thankfully. The next one is my medical, which I just put $300 in there. You never know what's gonna happen. And again, this isn't as needed. I hope I don't have to use this one a lot this year, but you never know. And then the last bit for Go Wild, this again is by all means not gonna cover the whole thing, but $400. Incidentals, those types of things, and this year it's May. And I'm super excited for that. If you're coming to Go Wild, let me know in the comments below, and I can't wait to meet you. Make sure you say hi. So what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna leave some spaces because you never know what might change. I'm gonna kind of do like a little total bar. I almost feel like a little math teacher. So what I'm gonna do here is total this up, and total that should be in that account that I'm putting towards it is $2,160, right? And so then you kind of just divide that by 12 months, and that's how you get, if you see it in my budgets, the budget line item of $180 a month for my sinking fund. That's where that is. Works for me right now. I feel really good about it. It's come in handy already this year. So yeah, that's kind of my sinking funds for the moment. I have a feeling that as your life circumstances change, there might be different things in here. You might have some homeowners insurance or something else that you pay on a semi-regular basis. Throw that in here and think about it. Question for you though, do you use sinking funds? Do you rely on them pretty regularly? Is it something you think about? Are there sinking funds in here that you think I could use? Because I'm always looking to sort of learn, and my subscribers are always the best ones to give me advice, and I really appreciate it. It's something that I'm so grateful for. But I hope you found this video interesting and helpful for you. Please let me know in the comments down below if you have any other questions or words of wisdom. And again, until next time, planner friends, bye.